Even if your hair is styled straight, and even if it's a blunt bob or a layered bob or anything, depending on how you style it, the vibe of the haircut will be completely different. A lot of people seem to think that if you get a bob, you are very limited in your look. You're super limited in how you can style it. I hear it all the time in my comment section. Gabby, I wanna cut my hair like yours, but I hate that it looks the same every day. Gabby, I wanna cut my hair like yours, but I'm going to an event and it's always the same. It's so boring and you can never style it differently. Well, I'm here to tell you that you have limitless possibilities in how you can style your hair, no matter what haircut you get. There are so many different products, tools, techniques, finishers, all of the things that can take any haircut from here to there to over there. Today I'm gonna show you 2 different ways that you can style your bob for it to look completely different, even if you're styling your bob straight in both ways. It would be really easy to make this video if I was gonna show you a curly option and a straight option. It's very off-brand for me to do anything easy on this channel. Welcome to the 2nd episode of Glam Girl Gabby's Choose Your Own Adventure. Let's get started. All right, let's get started with our products. So one option is volume products, okay? If your goal is volume, then volume products are definitely where you wanna start. Now, when it comes to volume, we need that volume in 2 places. We need it at the root. That's kind of the most important place that we need to place volume. But I find that we also need a little bit in the mid shafts as well, okay? Because we need the volume to start high and to round out. We don't just want volume in the root and then flat in the mids to ends. In my opinion, the best way to get that volume throughout the entire head of hair is to use a product specifically for root boost and then specifically for mids and ends, okay? So this is Moroccan oil. This is Moroccan oil root boost for fine to medium hair. I find that this is an incredible product and I'll show you how I put it in. So what I like to do is I just split my hair. It has this little nozzle here and I actually pump the product right into the parted line. So we're gonna split and put it right in there. Now we're gonna focus obviously on the areas that we want maximum volume. So I don't even bother going here in the nape because this area we actually kind of want to lay flatter. We don't want the area of the nape to bevel up too much, but we want all of this top section to have as much volume as possible. Now I also find it very important to put volume products here in the crown because you really want the volume to be beveling this way. And then I just massage it into the head and we're good to go. Now for the next step, like I said, we want that volume in the mids. So a great product for this is the Volumizing Mist, also by Moroccan oil. The reason I really like this one, it's a really light formula. It has very flexible hold. It's not too sticky. It's not too gritty. After putting all of that in, I always brush my products through from roots to ends to really evenly distribute the product. Now, if you care more about smoothness and less about volume, you can go in with something that's really good for smoothing the hair. Now I wanna show you this product because I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but I haven't shown you guys how to use it a lot. And I think a lot of you are very curious about it. So this is the Colorwow Dream Coat. This is by Chris Appleton, okay, celebrity hairstylist, Kim Kardashian's hairstylist, Chris Appleton. So what this is, it's a mini keratin treatment. So if you have hair like mine, that's actually quite textured, right? It's actually quite wavy and it wants to become frizzy quickly and it puffs in humidity. Something like this is very handy to have because this is a raincoat for the hair. That's how it's described online. That's how Chris Appleton talks about it. It creates like a sealant on the hair that doesn't allow water to penetrate through. It lasts for 3 shampoos, but it has to be activated with heat. So this is not something that you can spray on your hair, let your hair air dry and expect your hair to not be frizzy. This is blow dried in just like a keratin treatment is blow dried in at the salon. It needs to be sealed in with heat, but I do find that it's the best thing that I've found for keeping my hair super shiny, super smooth, and kind of frizz-free in all environments, including high humidity zones. So the way that you want to use something like this is you need to saturate your entire head of hair with it. So I like to work in zones. So I just slice with my hands and then I saturate every zone. Something else I want to tell you guys about this product is that this is not the type of product you can cocktail with other products. It's not going to work if you do that, okay? It has to be used completely on its own in the wet stage. After, Once you've sealed the deal, you've blow dried your hair in, you flat ironed it, it's in the hair, you can then go in with hairspray, you can then go in with treatment oils, you can then go in with whatever you want on the dry hair. But if you cocktail this in the wet stage with something, it's going to make this not work. Just like before, we want to brush from roots to ends. Let's move into our hot tool. So for this look, there are 2 ways to do it, and I want to show you both ways so that if you don't have one tool, you can reach for another one. So I'm going to do half my head with a blow dryer and a round brush, okay, which is a really kind of traditional way that we do it, the way that it gets done in a salon. And the other half of my head, I'm going to use a blow dryer brush. Before you start, you do need a blow dryer. Okay, so you do need a blow dryer before you start because you're gonna want to rough dry. When your hair is too wet, it's going to take forever to blow dry with a round brush or to blow dry with a blow dry brush. So you need to rough dry it so that you get about 50% of the moisture out. When we're working with a voluminous look, when you rough dry, you actually wanna lift the hair up while you rough dry so that you're blow drying the roots in a lifted position. It's gonna be a lot easier to get volume later if you set that shape when the hair is initially wet. Now, if you are doing this, there's a few things you need to know. A ceramic round brush is my favorite type of round brush to use when I'm doing a voluminous blow dry. And the reason is because the ceramic base of the brush gets heated up and works like a Velcro roller. So for one, it's gonna dry your hair faster. It's also gonna give you way more lift. You can use a boar bristle brush as well. That's gonna give you a lot of smoothness. Normally boar bristle brushes have a wooden base. That's gonna give you smoothness, okay? There's a million ways to do everything. That's gonna give you smoothness, but it's not gonna give you a lot of lift. So if you're looking for volume, definitely get a ceramic round brush. This one is by Olivia Garden. Now, another thing that you need to know is that when you have a blow dryer, you need the blow dryer to have a concentrator attachment, which is this. What you don't wanna do is blow dry your hair without a concentrator attachment at all, because the airflow is gonna be so sporadic and crazy. You want to manipulate your hair while blow drying to do what you want it to do. And the way that you're gonna do that is by directing airflow. Directional airflow is the most important part of hairstyling, okay, when it comes to blow drying, for sure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my hair in the brush and then I'm gonna direct the airflow down, okay? And that's going to smooth. At the same time, I'm gonna push my brush up to give me more volume at the root. So I'm directing the airflow down, pushing my brush up. So we're getting root volume and smoothness at the same time. Okay, so you can see the lift right here. You can really see the lift here, right? And the reason that I'm getting this lift is because I'm, again, positioning my round brush up while I blow dry, okay? That's super important for voluminous looks. If you are to blow dry down this way, although it's a little bit easier, you know, when you're not used to it, you're going to actually flatten your root by a lot. I'm not gonna lie, even as a hairstylist and having loads of experience doing this, I find doing this on my clients to be easy peasy, but doing this on myself to be unbelievably challenging. So if you are having a hard time with it, if your arms are super awkward, if you are just feeling like you can't get the airflow right, it's honestly because it's not that easy, okay? I know a lot of hairdressers always encourage doing it like this. It takes a lot of practice. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a way that's just way easier, just so much easier. Now, the next way to do it that I'm a sucker for, okay, I admit it, I love my blow dryer brush so much. A blow dryer brush is the baby of the round brush and the blow dryer. You combine them, you get a blow dryer brush. So if you haven't heard of it before, what it is, it's the blow dryer is inside the brush, and it's just such an unbelievably easy way to blow dry your hair with loads of volume and to have it look smooth and amazing and beautiful, but without the clunkiness of trying to direct the airflow, trying to move the brush, all of that. Now, like I said, this is a choose your own adventure. So if you're used to this, and you already do this and you like how it looks, then continue doing that. But here's another option in case you find that to be a challenge. So when it comes to working with this tool, it's the exact same thing that you did last time. You're gonna apply it on the base and then you're going to lift up the roots. And while you lift up, you're going to be continually rotating the brush. That's going to give you the smoothness that you need with the lift at the roots. I did an entire video on how to blow dry your hair for maximum volume and smoothness using a blow dryer brush. It's a very detailed video. It's not rushed through. There's lots of tips and tricks and troubleshooting things in there. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll leave that video actually linked in the pinned comment for you, okay? Because you might find that really helpful. Okay, now I just want to show you the difference between my hair here. So this was with the blow dryer brush, right? It's a lot easier, and because it's easier, I can manipulate it a lot better to get more smoothness and shine versus here. Here it's fine, it still looks good, right? But I did lose quite a bit of shine. And the reason is because I can't direct the airflow as easily. I'm kind of like, I feel awkward when I do it. So because of that, I can't seem to get my cuticle pushed down as much as I can with this. Just by rotating, I can get more smoothness this way. Please let me know if you have a different experience in the comment section below. I love reading your guys' comments, and I love hearing about how you experience things differently with your different hair type and your different techniques and just what you're used to, you know? And now, with that said, now's a good time to tell you that we've noticed in the back end of YouTube that over 50% of you guys are not subscribed. Over 50% of you guys. So I would really, really appreciate it if you watch the videos regularly, if you like this community, if you like being a part of this and entering giveaways and doing all the fun things that we do around here, that you hit that subscribe button right now, because it really, really does help me grow and succeed and be able to continue creating this type of content for you on the regular basis. Now, to create a very smooth effect, there are a few things we can do, like always, right? And I bet you're thinking flat iron. Yes, but there's more that can get you an even better effect that lasts even longer. So I'm going to show you two different things, okay? I'm going to show you the method where you use a vent brush and a blow dryer. And then I'm going to show you a very unique tool that some of you have. I know you guys have told me in the comments, some of you guys have this tool and you do love it. And it's the Dyson Airstraight. This is very interesting because this is a blow dryer and a straightener kind of in one, but it doesn't use any hot plates. It's directional airflow. Okay, so it's the air that blows down the hair shaft in a really concentrated way that makes the hair bone straight at the same time that you're blow drying. If you style your hair like this a lot, if this is your vibe, if this is your look, bone straight is what you like, you know, Posh Spice in the 90s. I really do recommend you get this tool. It's very expensive, but everyone that wears their hair like this, that doesn't care about volume, that cares about really straight, smooth, glossy hair, they love this tool. So as always, we start by rough drying to get rid of maybe 50% of the water so that we're not working from such a wet stage. Working from such a wet stage is going to give us more damage than we need. And it's also just gonna make the whole styling experience a lot more labor intensive than it needs to be. Now, if you have this tool or you're gonna buy this tool, but you don't have a blow dryer, you obviously don't wanna buy both since this is so expensive, right? If you're not gonna use a blow dryer often, you can rough dry with this, okay? So all you wanna do is turn it on and you can close it and rough dry that way. Now, since this is such a super sleek, straight look, we don't need to lift the root up because our goal in this look is not volume. Our goal in this look is that modern, chic, kind of Parisian style, high fashion bob. So there's no need to do that extra work, you know, if that's not the look we're going for. So just blow dry the roots down. We want them to lay flat and super smooth. So just in case you guys are wondering, what I normally do with this is I use max heat, max speed on the wet setting when my hair is wet. I dry the whole thing like that, and then I re-clip. I actually go into boost mode on the dry setting, and I kind of seal the deal that way. Now, I know some of you are probably also wondering, can you bevel this in? So if you have a bob, can you bevel it so that it kind of cups the chin, bevel it in? Not really. The Dyson Airstraight is very one-dimensional as a tool. It will give you very straight hair, but it's bone straight. We can't really bevel, we can't really turn, we cannot wave or curl with it. I've tried it 100 times. The only way that I've ever gotten it to work is just by making the hair bone straight. It is what it is. If you like that, it's amazing. If you don't, it's not worth it. Okay, so that is one side completed. As you can see, it really is bone straight. It is straight, I'm not playing. So another way that you can do this blow dry is with a regular blow dryer and a vent brush. Okay, a vent brush is not like a round brush. It's a different kind of vibe because you have these holes through here so the airflow goes through really quickly, and it's plastic bristles. Okay, so if you wrap dry, you can kind of smooth the hair out in a really quick and easy way, and it's quite fast because of all these vents. It's also a little bit easier, I would say, than trying to maneuver around brush. Now, the only thing is that if you have straight hair, this will be easy peasy. If you have wavy hair or textured hair like I do, you're gonna end up very frizzy, but that's okay because that's where step 2 comes in. Okay, so the Airstrait is one step. You blow dry and straighten at the same time. Here we need to smooth and wrap dry, but then we need to straighten after, and I'm sure you can guess what's gonna come after, but let's just start this first. Now let me just explain a little bit what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm pushing the hair this way, and then I'm pushing the hair back. And then I'm pushing it this way and I'm pushing it back. And when I do that, I'm actually messing up the root or the growth pattern of the hair so that it lays flatter and smoother. And then I grab the hair like this and I position my blow dryer down the hair shaft to dry and smooth. Okay, that's called wrap drying. So here's the difference between the Dyson Airstraight and the wrap dry method. This obviously still needs a little bit of work, and that's when our flat iron comes in very handy. Okay, so to flat iron, I don't think I need to explain it. I feel like we're all pro at flat ironing, but we wanna do section by section. Actually, I say that, but then I see this all the time online. People just grabbing these big sections and putting them in the flat iron. If you have straight-ish hair, I mean, it can work. But if you have any type of texture in your hair, you really do need to go section by section, making sure that the width of the section isn't too thick. Because if it's too thick, you're not gonna be able to get right into the root. So you may end up with a little bit of a wavy or a kinky root and then flatter ends. If you do a good job of smoothing the hair out in the wet stage, you really don't need to go crazy with the flat iron. I find if you air dry your hair and it's really unruly and frizzy, then you need a lot of passes with your flat iron to get it to look how you want it to look. And that's where you start getting a lot of heat damage, you know? But if you already have it in a pretty straight position, like my hair is actually quite curly. If I diffuse it, my hair is curly, believe it or not. But because I was able to get it for the most part straight, when I go and I perfect it to make it super shiny and glossy, I really only need one, at the absolute maximum if I'm being fussy, 2 passes and we're good. And that's kind of where you want to be with it. Now, the reason that I didn't use any heat protectant here is because the Colorwow Dream Coat is made for this, right? It's made for heat. It's heat activated. So it's completely fine to use without a heat protectant. Now, if I was going to restyle this tomorrow, so say I sleep on this, it comes out kind of frizzy and I want to re-straighten it tomorrow, then I would definitely spray in some heat protectant just to keep my hair in tip-top shape, especially because I do a lot of heat styling in general. I'm sure you guys can tell I really never ever air dry my hair ever. And my hair is in fantastic condition. And a large part of that is because I use great tools, I use great products, and I do everything in a way that allows my hair to maintain its optimal health long term. Now let's work on the top and the front. So right now, I just got my hair cut back into this blunt bob, okay? I had a layered bob earlier, an old money bob, and I wasn't loving it. I really like the blunt bob a lot more. I find it a lot more modern, and I feel like it suits me more and my hair texture and everything. But anyways, I also changed it up a little bit and I got these curtain bangs. So I'm just gonna show you where these curtain bangs sit in case you like them. So they sit right around the top of my upper lip, okay? And they go out this way. So the way that curtain bangs work is they're kind of a hybrid between bangs and no bangs because they're quite long. So you can still tuck them behind your ear. You can still get rid of them if you don't want them, but you can also wear them really lifted and backwards or really forwards and swoopy. So there's two different ways to wear them, which is really cool. When I'm doing something voluminous, I often like wearing them lifted and open, but I'm gonna show you the other option in the other adventure. So stay tuned for that. But for the lifted and open look, what I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to blow dry this whole entire top section backwards, okay? So I don't blow dry a part into it. And I like actually taking my blow dryer brush and putting it in the front of the hair like this and blow drying this way, and then putting it behind my hair and blow drying this way. Now, every time I do it, regardless of what I'm doing, I'm always pushing it forward, okay? So when I'm behind, I'm not going like this. I'm still pushing it forward to give me lift and bevel, but I am moving it from the front to the back, from the front to the back, and that's gonna give me more shine and smoothness. Now the last tip I can give you, if you really want max volume in this styling stage, then get yourself some Velcro rollers, okay? This makes a big difference. Velcro rollers, they just give lift, okay? They're not gonna give you curl. It's not a hot roller. It's not going to manipulate the shape very much in the sense of the curl pattern, but it is going to manipulate the root volume by quite a lot. So you guys, just like the blow dryer brush or the round brush, when you are working here, rolling your rollers, make sure that you're pushing the hair forward, placing the hair here, and then rolling back. And when we do it this way, we are putting the roller on its base so that the root is kind of beveling forward and back, and that's gonna give us a lot more volume later. Now here's the thing, because Velcro rollers aren't hot, they won't do anything at all unless you heat up the hair, okay? So hair is malleable when it's hot, sets its shape when it's cooled down. So if you put your hair in here when it's cool and it's already set its shape, it's not gonna do anything. So you need to either blow dry your hair and put them in when the hair is already hot from the blow dryer. But if you're not fast and you can't maneuver like that, you can do what I just did, blow dry your whole hair, put them in, but then you have to heat them up. And the way that you wanna heat them up is with a blow dryer, of course. So you can actually take this off, put a diffuser attachment on, okay? And then you can diffuse them. I do that in a lot of videos, but if you don't have a diffuser attachment or you can't be bothered, just go on very low speed and high heat and heat them up for 1 minute and then just relax, do your makeup and let them cool down. All right, let's take these out. So you can see how much they've contributed to the lift. Okay, so you can really see how swoopy it is here, but how it's lifted and open. So it doesn't sit forward like this. It sits lifted and open with a swoop on the side. Now for this look, I don't want it up and over because it's not going to work with this very Pulp Fiction, very modern style that I just created, right? So I'm gonna do it very differently. For one, I'm not gonna blow dry everything back. I'm gonna blow dry it in the part that I want it to be in. So in this case, it's a middle part, okay? I really want this to be very even on both sides, but the fringe itself is going to be done differently. And so let's start with that. So when I'm working with the front of my hair or anyone's hair, the front has a lot of growth patterns. That's where all the growth patterns happen. So I have a cowlick and you guys can see, okay? So it wants to grow like up and over, which makes it very difficult for me to have a fringe and to style a fringe. Now there's a way to get around this. I've had full fringes before and there is definitely a way to get around it. So if you feel like your cowlick is preventing you from having a fringe, there's a way to get around it. But you have to do it from the wet stage. So this already is too dry. It's not going to cooperate and listen. Okay, so now instead of using this, I'm gonna use a very fine tooth comb. And I'm gonna do exactly what I did here with the vent brush, but I'm gonna do it with a fine tooth comb on my fringe. So I'm going to take my blow dryer, I'm gonna position it, and I'm gonna blow dry it down. Then I'm going to blow dry it all this way. Then I'm gonna blow dry it all this way. And what you're doing is you're confusing the root. So the root's like, I wanna go up and over. And you're like, no, I'm not gonna let you do that. Now, if you look at them, it's way more like a traditional fringe, right? Like if I had shorter pieces in through here, I don't like my bangs short, but if I did, I could literally pinch this in, wear this short, and then have it like grazing the cheekbone here. This is like a very different way to style them, and it makes a huge change in the overall effect of the front. That's why I'm saying, even if your hair is styled straight, and even if it's a blunt bob or a layered bob or anything, depending on how you style it, the vibe of the haircut will be completely different. Okay, so let's finish the top. So like I said, we're gonna part right here in the middle, and then let's finish up this top section and smooth it out. Finishing product. So for a look like this, I always reach for a volumizing spray. Now this is a dry volume and texture spray. It's called Full by Living Proof. This is a beautiful spray for adding like a boost of volume and a little bit of texture without it being too gritty. Now as a finishing step, don't be afraid to play with it, okay? You can play with it a little bit. So sometimes what I'll do if I wanna show off my earrings is I'll take my curtain bangs and I'll just do a little tuck. I'll leave the hair in front of the ear out so that it frames, and I'll tuck this in so that you can see a little bit of my ear, a little bit of my hair, and then I'll just manipulate this with a brush to cup and sweep. See that? Then you can see a little bit of your earring. Have fun with your hair. It shouldn't be so fussy. It should be something that you really enjoy styling and have so many endless possibilities with. And there you have it. Here is hair look 1. Now to finish this off, I wouldn't go in with a volume spray, definitely not. That's not the vibe. This is not the vibe. The vibe is smoothness, so I'm gonna go in with an oil. Okay, this is the perfumed hair oil by Adore. This is amazing. This one is Hinoki, so it's for all hair types. Lepida is for fine hair, and Osmanthus is for damaged hair. So pick the one that's best for you. This smells incredible. Hinoki smells incredible. And it's just gonna add a little bit of shine. Now I don't like going in the root because I do not want my hair to get too oily in the root, especially if you wanna wear your hair like this for a few days, you know? So I always focus it on the ends where it needs hydration and where I really want that shine to be. And then whatever I have left over in my hands, so say I have like a little tiny bit left over in my hands, I'll dust a little bit here just to get rid of some flyaways. Now the only reason I would grab hairspray for this look is if my bangs, if I want them to stay out of my eyes. I hate having hair that's close to my face. That's why I never get bangs. It really irritates me. And if it irritates you, what you can do, you can position your bangs where you want them to go. So for me, it's like here. And you can very lightly do these little tiny bursts of sprays, and it will freeze them into place where you want them to be without it being overly obvious, you know? See, it actually makes quite a big difference. And here is your end result. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in this adventure what you tend to gravitate towards, what path you tend to take, and how you're gonna combine all these little bits of information to choose your very own adventure from home. Before you go, please don't forget to subscribe because that really does help me out a lot. This video's over.